Hi, besties. Welcome to another episode of the Blondest Podcast.
I'm your host, Tyler Jacoby.
Oh, you're the host. When did that happen?
I got a promotion.
Okay.
Paul promoted me.
Oh, he did.
Yeah.
That's fine, I guess. I mean, on the YouTube videos, people say that you carried the last episode, so.
They are correct in saying that.
Well, I'm going to carry this one. I'm going to redeem myself.
Yeah, you honestly
I was tired.
You can take it away because I'm the tired one today.
Okay,
so
slay.
it's your moment to shine.
I love to talk. Okay, so what's new and exciting in my life? Let's see here. We just got back from Anguilla and...
Not we.
Well,
you.
Me, but not you.
Yeah, well.
We as in me and Lance.
The we that they're looking at is me and you.
Okay, well, not Tyler. Went to Anguilla and it was so beautiful. You guys, it like healed my soul. I love the beach. Like, I am such a beach vacation girl. Like, it makes me almost emotional how like I just feel so aligned. Like, all my worries, everything, like it just, the water is so healing for me. Whether it's a bath, a pool, the ocean. I prefer the ocean because it's like there's other things I can do besides just be wet. But I just love being on water. Like, it's just so renewing and healing for me and tranquil, and it's just wild. And if you remember like a ton of podcasts ago when I was talking about being in Tulum, I did this like spirit animal card reading, and it told me I was a frog. And at first I was like really offended because I was like, who wants their spirit animal to be a frog? But it said like frogs, like they renew and heal themselves in water. And I'm like, that is so me. Like, it's crazy how I just truly like, people think I like to be in the bath just because of like all the like body care and all the fun stuff. But like, I just work sometimes in water. Like, I just like to do what I need to do in water. Like, I don't know about what it is about it. I'm just such a water girl. I really am. So anyways, it was a great trip. Like, I just love anytime I have free time or I'm able to go on a vacation. Like, I wish that I could explore more of the world, but like my time is limited when I can go on trips. And so I just prefer to be at a beach, especially since there's not a nice beach like around here in this area. But yeah, so I shelled a lot. And did you guys know it's actually called shelling? And that's when you collect seashells. And I collected so many, and I've never ever like taken maybe like one or two I would take home, but I've never like kept shells before like that. Like, cause I'm like, I don't know what I would do with them. And it would just like sit in a bag and like, you know, better off in the ocean or
Collect
for someone
dust.
else. Yeah, collect dust. And unless I found like a really like badass shell, like of course I'll take it. But yeah, so this was like the first time I ever like went hardcore. Like, I've always collected seashells, just never like kept, right? Like I said. So I don't know, there was like something inside me that just like wanted to collect every shell I could find, and the shells there were so cool. But the thing about shelling, people think it's like easy. It's actually an Olympic sport, and I'm going to actually hold the first national shelling competition in the US because I think it's intense, more intense than people would think. Like, you're standing there, right? And sometimes the waves are violent. Like, they're crashing on you, like knocking you down. And then on top of that, like mixed with the shells, like there's some sharp shells, there's rocks. Like, my ankles are beat the fuck up, guys. Like, it looks like someone like stoned my ankles, which is basically actually that is what happened. The ocean stoned my ankles. Like, they are so black, blue, cut up. I have like blisters, scabs, like, it's not pretty. My ankles look horrendous. Like, they look like I had shackles on them and I tried to break free. But yeah, I mean, you got to risk it for the biscuit. Like, if you're a hardcore sheller, like, you're going to get it down and dirty. Like, it's not like a tee-hee, like, you know, no, it's violent. Like, it is intense. It's an intense sport. It is. You can laugh. I would love to see you try to do what I did.
I would be able to do it.
No, because there's a lot that goes into it, Tyler. It's hand-eye coordination. You have to be quick.
I have good hand-eye
because
coordination.
you look to see the shell that you want. Well, you also have glasses and contacts. I have 20/20 vision.
I am corrected to 20/20 vision.
Okay. But you would get one rock hit your ankle and you'd be like, I'm done.
I mean, probably.
So.
Because it's not fun.
It is so much fun. I was doing it for hours. Like, everyone was staring at me, probably thought I had like a mental like condition because I all day was like in the water collecting seashells with my sparkly goggles on. And it was pretty wild, but it was so much fun. I got the coolest shells. Lance helped me for a little bit, but he couldn't handle all of the like I said, like a grown man couldn't handle getting beat up by the waves and getting rocks chucked at your feet every couple seconds. But I could.
Big sacrifice, little reward.
big reward. So I ended up keeping the shells this time because there was like a little table on the patio outside of our room, and I was like putting them there because it was like the best place to put them. And as my collection grew, I was like, you know what would be so cool, since I'm building a house and a spa right now, is to like epoxy it and like have a seashell table. And so that's what I'm gonna do. But
Where
I
is
did.
it gonna go?
I don't know. It's either, I think I'll actually probably want it at the spa.
Like in your office?
In my office, like a coffee table. I think it'd be really cool, and it's special. Like, you could just go and buy something like that. One, it'd be so expensive, but this to me is like special because I handpicked every shell by myself.
No, I think it's super cool.
And then when people come in, I'm having like meetings, and they're like, "Oh my god, what a cool table! Where'd you get it?" I'm like, "You can't have it because I made it." And then maybe I could have a seashell coffee table business on the side.
You put hours into that coffee table.
I did. No, a whole 10 days.
Yeah.
Every day I was collecting shells. That was like my mission, and it was just such a good trip, guys. Like, I love the ocean. I love it so much. My dream trip would definitely be Seychelles, but it's like a 30-hour flight. So
is it because it sounds like seashells?
No, it's because it looks like AI. Like, I want all of you guys to Google when you're home safe. If you're driving, don't do it right now. But Seychelles in Africa, or it's like off the coast of Africa, it is so pretty. And the also issue is, if I did go, then I would be like, oh my gosh, I'm already here. Like, I want to go do like my great white shark dive in Cape Town and
go on a safari
and like go to Zanzibar and like all the places, because South Africa has like some of the best diving. They have such amazing like just wildlife, like the ocean and land. Like,
they have penguins too.
Like, I love the ocean. I love animals. I love seashells. I love it. I love it so much. It makes me so happy. And my husband, he was like, well, why don't we just like sell our lot and like move to a beach? I'm like, because we would be broke because I wouldn't work. I would literally every day be like, I'm sick. And then you'd see me out on a boat or shelling. Like, I think it's actually good that I live in Texas because there's absolutely nothing that I enjoy here, like hobby wise. Like, I don't care.
That's sad.
I don't give, but it isn't, because now I work so hard. I'm telling you guys, life hack your life. Live somewhere that's so fucking boring and has nothing of your interest, because then you'll just work so hard and make a shit ton of money because there's nothing else to do but work. That's like the only thing that will bring you joy, is making money and working and helping other people.
Well,
I'm telling you, if I lived somewhere that was fun, I would never be at work.
Well, unfortunately, my hobbies are portable.
Well, I like shelling and shopping.
Yeah. Well, you can shop here.
I know. That's the issue. I'd also make probably more money if I was maybe I'm contradicting myself. Maybe I would actually have more money if I lived next to an ocean, because every time I had the urge to shop, I would just go shell.
Yeah.
But I think at the new house.
But then every time you had the urge to shell, you wouldn't work.
Yeah. So it's like, save money or make it.
Yeah.
Got to pick. But I think at the new house, I'm going to get a sand pit, but not for Cyrus, for me. And I'm going to put seashells in there.
I think it's going to give you what you want it to give. I feel like it'll feel like a sandbox and like gross. Like, it's not going to give beach.
Well, then I just need you to chunk rocks at my ankles and Lance to throw water buckets at me.
It's not, you know what I mean. It's not going to be the same.
I guess, but maybe I'll just have to go every month shelling, get me fixed. Yeah.
Isn't Galveston disgusting?
Yeah, they don't have good shells. But I love shelling, guys. It's like
Do
my
they
new
have good
personality.
shells in Florida?
Oh yeah.
But Anguilla was better.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, there's good shells everywhere. I'm not.
You're not discriminatory
towards the shells.
Towards the shells.
No, all shells are beautiful. Hawaii has some beautiful seashells. I'm so excited to shell. Are you gonna shell with me in Hawaii?
I'll try it.
We're gonna shell. We're gonna have a shelling contest. And we're gonna like put a timer for 30 minutes to see how many shells you can get. I'm excited. Oh my god, I wish we were leaving now.
Is it easier in Hawaii than Anguilla, do you think?
I mean, it depends on the water conditions.
I've never been interested in seashells, to be quite honest.
Well, that's sad.
I just like reading a book.
Yeah, you're gonna be reading a book. Cyrus is gonna be like eating sand, and I'll be shelling.
I'll be eating your hair.
Okay, well.
Last night, y'all, Savanna posted about on her story. She got fully attacked, and her mother.
This all happened when we were in Anguilla. Like, apparently he was doing it to my mother-in-law, which no one gave me a warning. She just told Lance, and I'm like, well, Lance has no hair, so you should have told the girl with the hair. I'm just sitting there, minding my business, eating my food, and all of a sudden I'm like down on the booth, okay? Like it happened so fast. He just grabs, if you're watching the YouTube video, grabs my hair, pulls me straight down. Like I thought my neck was going to break.
Yeah, me too.
And then he just holds it like a death grip. And he did this like a little bit when he was like 9 months old, but then it like stopped and now it's full back. And then like he'd stop and we'd be like, no, like don't do that, you know? And then we'd get back up and then he would do it again.
Yeah.
And then he like scratched my forehead.
And now that he's like, because when he was 9 months old, it was much easier to like get him off. But now he has like full control over his body.
So strong.
So like it's hard to get him off.
Yeah. He just wants a reaction. Whether it's, say we're trying to like, it's hard not to say anything because it hurts so bad.
Yeah.
But I read about it last night. They say either like no reaction at all, which is hard, or like you have to be like over dramatic and be like, act like really hurt and injured so that they like learn empathy and like feel bad, and then they're like, oh, like I really hurt my mommy, like that wasn't okay.
I feel like you could fake cry.
Oh yeah, maybe. I don't know. I used to be able to when I was younger. I could like cry on demand, but I don't cry anymore.
Was that a manipulation tactic for your parents?
Sure. Yeah.
You could just flip those tears on.
Oh, I could cry on demand as a kid, but not anymore. It's really hard for me to cry now. I feel like
maybe it's the Zoloft.
it's the Zoloft.
Yeah.
It's like dried up all my tears and vagina.
Oh.
Does everything, makes you emotionless. But yeah, so anyways, Anguilla was great. I saw a sea turtle. I went diving. I made Lance go diving. I just love diving. It's so good. Like snorkeling sucks. I'm sorry. It does.
Why do you think that?
Because you
'Cause,
can't
like,
go
have
as
to-
deep. Like when you're in the water, you feel like you're a part of the ocean. Like that's like you are like a mermaid. Like diving, you feel like a mermaid and you can get like really close up to the fish. Like you can just see so much better. Because like, yeah, you can see fish and stuff like from up top, but like it's really when you can get in the coral reefs and like kind of like weave yourself through. Or like we dove through a shipwreck and it was so cool because I got to go like inside the ship. And like I wish my freaking GoPro only goes to 20 feet and I didn't know that. So I had to order a case that can get me to 60 feet because I was like 65 feet underwater. And yeah.
Was Lance that deep?
No, he was doing a discovery dive, so he had to stay 20 feet. You can't go deeper than that.
What about in Hawaii?
So you guys will not be able to go deeper than 20 feet.
When is? I thought you were going to try to get him certified.
Yeah, but and with what time?
You were there for 12 days.
Yeah, I know, but it was his birthday trip and he hates it. And it's like, you know, it's not his thing.
I thought he wanted to get certified.
It depends on the day. Some days he does, some days he doesn't. Like he actually, it's so funny because he always complains about it. And then we go. And then after he's like, no, it was like really cool. Like I enjoyed it. But he's like terrified every time before we go, which I don't think diving is scary. Like there's no possible way to die unless you like, you know, are super deep and you go up really quick.
I hate when people do that shit.
What?
When like they hate something and then every time you are doing it with them or whatever,
they
they're
enjoy
like,
it.
yeah. And then they go right back. And it's so like my mom's that way with Chipotle. And like
she's like, fuck
she's
Chipotle.
like, I fucking hate Chipotle. I don't want Chipotle. And then she gets in, she's like, this shit's good. And then like
so
a week later, she's like, I fucking hate Chipotle. And I'm like, okay, which one is it?
That's Lance with scuba diving.
Yeah.
I'm like, because after we did it in Hawaii, he was like, it's so cool. And then I was like, oh, we're going to do it again in Anguilla. And he's like, fuck no, I don't want to do that. Like, it's terrible. And then he does it and then he enjoys it. He just thinks he's going to drown.
I mean, that's valid. And then like Savanna has
it's
this
20 feet down, guys. Y'all are doing discovery dives. There's no way for you to drown.
No, that's fine. But Savanna does this like fucked up thing where like she'll be like, oh, it's so fun. I want you to come. Will you go do it? And then she's like, okay, for example, shark diving. She like talks to me about it. And then she's like watching shark attack videos and like stuff like that. And then with
it's good to
diving,
know what
she's
happens.
like, you know, like if you go up too fast, you can get nitrogen in your blood and then you die. And it can take 5 hours. Like she's like going into depth about how brutal the death can be from going diving.
It's not that bad. You just die.
She's like, you have no idea you're going to die.
Tyler, you go up, you pass out. That's what happens. You pass out. So you wouldn't even know you're dying. You would just pass out and then die. You wouldn't feel the death.
But what about like when you're like 4 or 5 hours after you get out?
I think you'd probably just pass out and die.
No, I feel like you'd probably be like mentally. I don't know. But yeah, anyways, I think
do you want me to like not tell you what could happen?
Probably not.
Okay.
If you want me to do it.
Anyway, so yeah. But I am kind of scared about shark diving now in Florida this year because of the shark attacks that happened. Well, it'll be a couple weeks ago in Florida on 30A, which is crazy because I've gone there so many times with my family. But Yeah, it's really sad, honestly, what happened. It's just it's so rare for it to happen, but, it do be happening.
Yeah.
We were
And
kind of debating this, though, with all my clients because it's kind of fucked up, but, circumstantial.
I mean, it's not connected to the story at all.
Would you rather lose a hand or a foot?
My answer is a foot.
Mine's a foot, too.
Every person I think has said
Said
foot besides
besides
your
my mom,
mother.
because she's like, "I love running. I wanna run,"
And when your mom said that, I said, do you run marathons? And she was like, well, no, but, and I was like, what do you mean?
my reasoning is one, my line of work is my hands, and so I feel like I do a lot more with my hands than I do my feet. I'm pretty sedentary. And then also prosthetics and all of the feet are so much easier. Like you can walk on a foot. They can't give you like a robot hand. Like it's not going to do what it needs to do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like a foot, like if you get a prosthetic, you can just like walk on it and do what you need to do. Like what are you going to try to do? Like, you just need to walk, and you can walk on a prosthetic leg.
You can run
on a foot. There's so many things.
Yeah.
You can compete in the Olympics.
No, you can.
You can do anything, but there's no way to have a good hand. Well, they have like the Special Olympics.
Paralympics.
Yeah. So you could still do that with a fake leg, but you could not.
Yeah.
Play baseball or soccer. Well, you probably play soccer with one hand. Anyways, besides the point.
But the thing is you could with one foot as well.
Yeah, you could. You do a lot of things with one foot.
Yeah. No, choosing hand is crazy.
Yeah. Anyone that chooses your hand, like, why? Do you hate yourself? I would definitely give up a foot for sure.
I'd give up a foot right now.
Right? Really?
Yeah.
Let's go.
For no reason.
That's funny. But yeah, pretty wild stuff, man.
The only thing that scares me is the phantom limb stuff. That's what scares me.
Whoa, what's that?
It's like when people
Will you grow it back like a lizard tail?
No, ma'am. When amputees, when they lose their whole arm or something, they can still feel like it's there, and they get like severe pains in a limb that doesn't exist. Like it's not there, but they'll feel like horrendous pains like in their forearm, and they don't have an arm anymore.
That's crazy.
And so it's like their brain is so used to it being there. And then it's like trauma for the brain that it's not there anymore. And so they get like phantom pains.
That's so crazy.
It's really scary.
That is really scary.
It's like imagine like having chronic pain in something that doesn't exist on your body.
That's so sad. Anyways, let's talk about something happy. So yeah, Anguilla, we went through that. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. Oh, I had, which I can't get into too many details because I just have some secrets that I can't share quite yet, but there is one I can share. So basically, guys, there were two situations that were completely out of my control, and they were like weighing on me heavy. Like, I'm going to be so real. My life usually works out perfectly. Like, I am a very lucky person. I feel I do work hard, but I feel like since I'm such in alignment with my calling and what God and the universe want me to do, like everything just, for some reason, just works out.
Falls into place.
It just falls into place.
You talked about that before.
Yeah, like it's
two podcast episodes ago. Or something.
Yeah, and when you're doing what's meant for you, like things just happen easily. And so there's a new business that I've been trying to start, and it's been 2 years, and there's like a really big missing gap that I needed to fill, and it was just not coming easily. And it was something that I can say what this was. It was the username was what I was trying to get, and like I got everything else. I got the trademark for the name. I got the website domain. I spent a lot of money to get that process. I hired a personal PI to try to find how to get this Instagram name. It was impossible. We asked all our connects at Meta. Literally, we had Skin Better from L'Oreal try to help us, and we could not get this username. And they're like, it's impossible, it's impossible, it's impossible. And since everything works for me so easily, and I was so stuck on this name and this username, and I've already have, all this money invested, and I'm like, I don't want to do the username .co or USA or official. I want it to just be the name of the company. And so it was really weighing on me, and I'm like, it's just not the right time. God's telling me not to go through with this right now. I have so much going on. And the second, I'm able to get this username the way I want it, that will be my sign that it's time for me to move forward and not keep pushing it back and pushing it back and pushing it back. And so I took that as a sign, since everything does work so easily, I just had this intuition that until I got that username, it wasn't my timing. And so again, like I was like, it's impossible. Like I'm gonna literally have to like go like this person, they're not even active on the username. They like haven't been on. I've sent them a million DMs. Like everyone's tried to get this. Like it's just like not gonna work. And I wasn't negative about it. I was just like, you know what? It is what it is. I'm not gonna hyper focus on it. Like if it's meant to be, it'll happen. And if not, then like maybe this is the universe and God telling me like it's not the right time, or just don't do it at all. You know.
Yeah.
So that was one thing. And again, like that's been weighing on me for 2 years. Like literally, I've been trying to deal with that for 2 years. The next thing was with our space. Did we ever talk about how we had the doctor in half of our space on the podcast? I don't know if we have or not. But anyway, so this situation, so again, like I've been looking for a new space for SBA for 2 years.
Yeah.
Because our lease is almost up, and like also too, like with real estate and stuff, like, I mean, we could have used a new space and I honestly would have been fine, like just using the space now as a storage unit. We don't pay much for it. It's honestly pretty cheap for what it is. And we're lucky, like very lucky. But I was like, you know what? Like, even if I find the best place, like that's fine. I'll move on it and just keep paying my rent at the other space, or like find someone to take over my lease. I mean, or use it as offices, or I'll find something to do with it. Right. So I've been looking for 2 years, and like a lot of that stress too, because we were also looking for a lot to build a home. And so it's like, what do I do first? And like, I was also really nervous about where I want to be, because like I've always had that dream in my head of like, you know, having a spa in Dallas, and like being a city girl. But like my life and everything, you know, went such a different direction, you know, having a kid and getting married and being in the suburbs, and like, you know, my business, I wanted to be very central. And I have a lot of clients that don't live in Dallas. I have a lot of clients that just travel. I have clients in Fort Worth. If you know about the DFW Metroplex, like it's like everything is fucking far from each other. Like we have clients that drive 3-4 hours to come see me, fly to come see me. Like my business is not location based. People are coming to me for me, which is so wonderful. And I'm so blessed for that. So I really could put, you know, SBA anywhere and my clients would follow. But I did want to be mindful of like keeping it semi close to where we already are. So we're off 121, like Louisville. And Louisville has a negative connotation because it is kind of the ratata, but it's not that bad. The area we're in is basically Coppell. Like if we were like 30 feet to the left, like we would have been
Coppell.
Like you literally could throw a rock and hit Coppell from my office. But, you know, I'm not hung up on that. I'm not like so bougie materialistic that I'm like, oh my God, I can't have a spa there. And it was really close to my parents' house, which is where I was living when I opened the spa. So that was also a plus. And on top of that, it's so central. Like it's right off a highway. You can get to Dallas in 20 minutes. You can get to Fort Worth in 30 minutes. You can get literally anywhere you want to be. So I wanted to make sure we were off a highway because just easier for everyone. And I'm not going to disclose the location quite yet, but we found a location that is very central. And I fell in love with it. Like I had been looking, and like, again, like everything happens for a reason, guys. I'm such a perfectionist. Like I wanted what I wanted. I wasn't going to budge. Like it was very specific to me. I wanted a standalone building. I wanted a whole building to myself. I wanted to be able to run around it. Like if I can't like run around my own building in a circle, like I don't want it. Like I don't want to be attached to anyone else. I don't want to be in an office park. I don't want to be in a massive building where you have to take an elevator and go find me. Like I want it to be its own freestanding structure. And I, you know, looked at so many places, and they just weren't exactly what I wanted. And so when I found this space, which is actually really funny because our realtor sent it to me 6-7 months ago, and I just had a lot going on and I just like wasn't really caring for it. And then Tyler found it, and it ended up being the exact same building our realtor found like 4 or 5 months earlier. So we went to go tour it, and I wanted to buy the building because obviously I want to own it. I don't see us needing anything bigger. But since we are building a house right now, it's just like too much. And that's the other thing, guys. Like timeline wise, I was so trying to avoid this. Like realistically, if everything happened with the house
as it should have,
we would be in it probably right now, right? Or about to be. Yeah, but we haven't even broken ground yet at this point. But I was smart. It's expensive and it's a big investment. And the neighborhood that we're in is a brand new neighborhood. And so everyone has like 2-acre lots, and it's a developer that has them, right? So it's not owned by like a builder. It's like bring your own builder, XYZ. And anyways, so we were like one of the first people to actually buy a lot in that neighborhood. Everyone else was just like builders buying a lot to build a spec home.
Mm-hmm.
to try to obviously, get their workout and get people that buy their own lot to use them. And anyways, there's just like a lot of sketchy stuff. This one builder that we almost used, and they had the most slay website. Like, wow. Like their website,
marketing
Tyler
on
found them.
10.
Tyler almost got me scammed. So
I just said, honestly,
their website was so good. I mean, it ate. So that's why you can't trust a website. So we go and meet them, and like me and Lance get this like really weird feeling, and they're like very like out of budget, like astronomically out of budget. Like we're like, what the fuck? Like we're building in like a little country town. Like we're not in Highland Park. We're not in Westlake. Like we're literally like there is a tractor store across the street from our neighborhood. Like
no, they're like talking like $800, $900 a square foot.
Yeah, which is way out of budget for us.
Insane.
Way out of budget for like
out of
any
budget
normal
for
human.
Yeah, out of budget for anyone.
Like insane. So anyway, we're like, we have a weird feeling, and then we do some research and we find out this company has like changed its name like 4 times in the last year, and like this NBA player actually like sued them, and then they like filed for bankruptcy and then like opened up a new business under a new name. So like basically they're pieces of shit, right? And we're driving and we see this big sign for this company that's building in our neighborhood, and we're like, oh fuck, like they're gonna like destroy this neighborhood. Like none of these homes are gonna get built, and then we're gonna be stuck with a house in a neighborhood. Like, you don't want to be the first one in the neighborhood. You know what I mean? Like you don't want to be there and be stuck. And then like if you want to move one day, or let's say, I mean, you just have to be smart. Like even though you think it'll never happen to you, you never know what's gonna happen. And if we were in a position where we had to sell our house, no one's gonna buy that house if it's like a dying neighborhood or a bad neighborhood or like all these issues. So we're like, we're not gonna break ground yet. Like we're not going with it yet. No. And then during that time too, we were still trying to figure out where we were going to find SBA and all of that. And there was just so many things going on that we just didn't feel comfortable breaking ground yet. So we're like, you know what? We'll hold off. Like we own the lot. Like we could sell it at the end of the day. Like worst comes to worst. Like, yes, we already paid for our architectural plans and everything and all of that. But she was really fucking cheap. So slay, because we didn't do the 3D rendering. Like actually insane how affordable our architect was. And she is so good.
Yeah.
Like everyone that we tell how much we paid, they're like, how?
And your lot
is the best lot in the neighborhood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Which Tyler was the one that found. We drove over the whole lot.
We won't get into that.
I wanted to be on a cul-de-sac because I grew up on a cul-de-sac, but Tyler is right.
Trust me.
And then everyone that went out there, like the guy that was selling the lots, like the builder that we ended up picking, my mom, everyone was like, this lot is the best lot. And Tyler's like, thank you.
Been saying it.
So thank you, Tyler, for our lot. It has the most trees too. That's the other thing, is there's a lot of like big trees, and I didn't know how expensive it was to like buy a tree.
Yeah.
They're fucking expensive. And hedges, like full grown hedges, can be like $20,000 for a hedge. Like, I am going to quit my job and start growing hedges and selling them, because that's like...
You have the room to do it.
Insane. Yeah, we do. But anyway, so then where was I? So we didn't break ground.
Still haven't.
Okay, well, we're like... No. It was supposed to happen 1st of May, but we're working on engineering, and it's like a small town. So it's like very fucking slow. Everything they do is like takes 9 years. So... It's a huge thing. Like, I'm okay. I'm not in any rush. Like, I love our home. Like, I'm actually going to like probably go through like my Subaru trauma all over again because I'm so sentimental. Well, I think I'm the only person that would cry for like 4 days over getting rid of a Subaru to get a Porsche.
Yeah, probably. Well, no, I'm sure you're not the only person, but
it's the only car that I haven't totaled. Like, it is special to me. Every other car I've ever had, like, the reason I had to get a new car wasn't because I traded it in or wanted a new car. It's because it was undrivable. Like, it was totaled. And so that was like the first car I never crashed. And so I just felt very like safe and very attached to it. And it was like kind of like, it was sentimental. Like, I'd gone through esthetician school with me. It had gone through like to all my first jobs, like in the industry. Like, it was, I filled my whole salon suite inside the back of that Subaru. Like, it's just, oh my God, am I going to cry about the Subaru again, like 4 years later?
Would you ever rent your current house out?
I don't know. Why are you asking me stressful questions?
Well, then you could keep it. And then you could have it.
Because then I would like, it would almost have to be like a cold, hard, like cut. Like, it's dead. I don't feel like I could have any strings like still to that house. Like, I feel like that would be too hard. And then I'd be like all in my head about like what they're doing in my house. And like, I don't think I could do with that. I would like to see my brother and his girlfriend live there, but they don't like where the house is. They want to be like in Carrollton because they like love Asian food and Korean food, and It's just not their vibe.
Well, I think Carrollton's also more centrally based.
It
Like,
is.
I wouldn't want to live where you live.
Yeah. We're kind of out there.
Yeah, you're out there and it's just difficult because nothing you do in your life is there. So it's like,
Pilates used to be.
yeah, I guess so. But that Pilates studio is also horrible.
It is horrible.
It's like glorified stretching.
I got very tone and fit when I started doing it.
I mean, you did.
It's not glorified stretching. You just took the beginner's class. So
Okay, yeah, I took the stretching class. So I'm like,
you don't
it was
have anything
just
to say.
stretching.
You'll literally shake and cry and sweat if you do like the intense classes.
But I feel like everyone says that like session or like the one, like they've done both and they're like,
okay, well, I'm sorry that I live in the country and that's all I have access to. Thanks. So anyway, I feel like I would be really sad to let go of that house, just like I was with my car and everything in my life because I'm so sentimental.
I feel like you're also chilling on like getting the building process started because you're already past the holidays of when it's going to be finished.
Mm-hmm.
Because like if they were like, oh, we're right on the edge right now of you being able to be in the new house by Christmas, you'd be like, get fucking going. Like I want to spend, you know what I mean? Like I want the Christmas, because that's Savannah's favorite thing is like Christmas decorations. And like being able to do Christmas or like Thanksgiving at our house or something like that. Like that would light a fire under your ass, but we're already past that point. So as long as it's done by 2025 holidays, we're good.
Yeah. Agreed. I agree. Before Cyrus turns 4. So I have 2 years. They have a year and a half.
Yeah, a year and a half.
Yeah. So anyway, that happened. And then so now, since I waited because of all of those reasons to break ground, now there's like 3 or 4 other houses in the neighborhood. They actually kicked out that like sketchy builder.
Slay. And they took your builder on.
Yeah.
Your builder wasn't originally one of the contracted builders for the neighborhood.
Yeah, because they switched it all. That was the other thing. There's all these changes and we're like, holy shit, because it was first bring your own builder. And then it was like, actually, there's only 4 people that you can use. And our guy wasn't one of them. And they were like, no, you guys can get grandfathered in since you bought your lot with that being in your contract that you would be able to bring your own builder. And then now they're going to work with him. And he's already done so much to elevate the neighborhood. He was like, I think you should add like an entry tower and like add all of these things.
No, your builder is amazing.
Yeah, he's great. And he's not as expensive, which is wonderful. And
no,
they're just ethical, good people, results-driven, ethical building.
No, literally.
So we love him. And yeah, and like I think the reason I picked him too was because he wasn't trying to sell himself to me. He was like, I don't care if you pick us or not. Like, we're going to get business. Like, if you want the most affordable option, high quality, most affordable option, like, I'm going to tell you what's going to work and what's not going to work. Like, we're not hungry for your business. We know which, but they wouldn't say it like in a mean way. It was just like, we're not here to sell you on us. Like, we're going to be booked all year and busy all year if you don't choose us. But, you know, this is what we have to offer.
Yeah. And like, they were also the most forthcoming with like,
cost and everything.
Well, cost and also like, oh, you want to like tour any house
that we have
or building right now? Like, here's the address. Go walk through it. He walked us through his personal home.
Yeah, and Cyrus got to come.
Yeah, and so it was just like they were amazing, and they do phenomenal houses.
Yeah,
like we toured probably like 4 different builders' homes.
Yeah,
and the quality greatly differs.
Yeah.
And his was super good always. So.
Like so good.
Yeah. And if y'all know anything about Savanna, this girl is a perfectionist. She will see if there's...
I'll blue tape that bitch up. The house will be blue when I'm done with it.
Yeah, it will be. And if we did that one sketchy person, Lord.
Oh, the one that did the man's house? MB?
Oh, no. I was talking about...
Oh. Them.
But also
him.
Yeah.
Dude, those baseboards made me want to like kill myself. They're like, we've only been here for a year, and I'm like,
It looks like you've lived here for 40.
It looks like you've been here, babe.
Generations.
It looks like a house that was passed down to you. Like that's how everything was cracking, and like it just looked so bad. So anyway, the point of this long-winded story is that I was not planning on building a house and a spa at the same time. That's just how the cookie fucking crumbled.
Yeah. And really, I think you've forgotten the whole point of the story, which you were going to talk about the doctor.
Oh, yeah.
But so with finding this new space, you know, thanks to me.
Colton found it first.
And what did you do with that information?
I didn't read it.
So, there was 2 similar buildings. One was empty. One had, it's a total of 6,000 square feet, and 1,000 of it was already leased out to a
doctor.
Yeah.
But listen,
don't know
how
how to
cool is
describe
this?
his practice.
It's not a practice. He sees one person a year. But, okay, not to be mean, but it's true. He's like, it's time for him to retire. So anyway, think about this building. So typically in like this 6,000 square foot building, there's 3 doors. Okay, 3 doors.
5.
No, Tyler, let me speak, Valentina. Yeah, but like no, like just let me talk.
Okay.
I know what I'm trying to say. There's 3 doors in the front, 2 on the sides.
Okay.
So with that, 3 doors, usually like all the other buildings in the same vicinity, you know, someone will own one and then they'll rent 1 slice, 2 slice, and 3 slice. So it's like a business, and a business, right? Okay. I wanted the entire shebang. I didn't want 1/3 and I didn't want 2/3. I wanted 3 out of 3, baby, all day, every day. 3 strikes, you're in, not out. And so I have like so many things in my teeth. It's okay.
Can't really see it.
I was eating a bagel. I'm starving. So then, okay, this man, so 3 in the front, 2 on the sides. If it was me and like I was the first one in, like I would have taken a front slot. But like, thank God I would not have gotten this building if he took one of the front slots and had his like ugly sign in the front. Like it's going to be SBA 1, 2, and 3, babe. But he had the sides. Like from the front, like you would not know this man was in there. Like you would assume that Savannah Boda Aesthetics owns the entire building. Or it is mine, you know? And so anyway, I was like, don't love that he's back there, but he had a 7-year lease and he already did
1
year. So he had about 6 years left. And I signed a 10-year. And so I was like, okay, you know, eventually he'll leave. But then my stress, I'm such a perfectionist. I was like really nervous and worried about, you know, like the same flooring being the same. You know, I know I could buy extras, but then like storing that and then just like also with the layout, like.
You're talking about what you were stressed about, but you didn't
No, I know.
mention-
I still want to talk about why.
No, but you didn't mention that you fully planned on buying his part out when he was done.
Oh, yeah. I was going to buy his part out when he was done. Yeah.
So that's why you're worried about the flooring not being available.
Yeah, exactly. And that part. And then also I asked him to move and he was like, no, I just like got here. Like, no, thank you. I was like, okay. And so then I was stressed about that. And then I was also really stressed about like construction. Cause then like when he does leave, like I'm gonna have to shut down the spa to do that. And then I was like, well, then if I get that space, like what am I gonna do with it? Like we have an architect already doing the floor plan for the spa as how it is supposed to be without that extra 1,000 square feet. And I'm like, I could have made like each room a little bit bigger. Like I'm just fucking crazy, guys. And like I care so much about everything. And so in my head, I'm like, I would have wanted to rework this. And then like I would, you know, want to just like bust the whole spa down again and like redo the entire thing in 6 years. Because what am I going to do with this like random chunk of space, you know, when I could have just utilized it in the first place in the floor plan and just had it the way I wanted it. Like I'm a perfectionist. I want it the way I want it. So I'm like, I will fuck this man, kill this man. I will do everything I have to do. I'm just kidding. I wouldn't do that. But I was like, I want him out so bad. Like I will blast rap music, have like the whole SBA team banging on the walls. And then he'll be like, oh my God, this is so terrible. I'll move. But then we'd have to like rework floor plans. And then like we'd already be in the process. So in my perfect world, he would just like not be there.
Skedaddle.
Like retire, dude.
Yeah.
Like just leave. But funny enough, the owner of our building, that is his primary doctor.
Yeah, so that was like a little hitch in the thing because it's like we couldn't go to the owner of the building and be like, listen, man, what can we do? Like, that's his personal doctor. He's got his back.
And then I was also like, maybe it's kind of slay to have a doctor there. Like, what if, you know, he could be our medical director? We could switch medical directors. If like,
he'd probably do it for cheaper.
If I'm sick, I could just go over there, except he works 1 day a week. So he's not ever there. And yeah. So,
he doesn't have any staff. Not a single support staff. It's literally just him.
Yeah. And he doesn't take insurance. He like just charges people like $30 a month to come get. Yeah.
It's like, that's why I said I don't know how to explain his business.
And it's not Savannah Boat Aesthetics vibe. Like, it's just not pretty in there either. So anyways, I was just stressed about it because then I was like, I lay in bed at night and I envision the spa and like how I'd lay it out and the colors. And like, I do this every single night. I just envision the spa and like how I would do it. And it was just like a little bump in the road. Was it the worst thing ever? No. But the other building, the issue was it was already under contract. So in the same vicinity, the one that was 6,000 square feet, someone was already under contract with. So we were like, well, shit, this is like, it's checking 9 out of 10 boxes. And like, honestly, like, is it really that big of a deal? No, it's not in the grand scheme of things. But like to Savanna Boda, it is a big deal. It's a very big deal. Like, I'm telling you guys, I'd get so heated and upset. I'm like, I will literally like, I'll sleep with this man. Sorry, Lance. I told him, I was like, if I will do what I have to do to get this man out of here, like whatever this man wants, like I will do it. Like I want him gone so bad. Like I don't want to have to poison him.
She was like, I'll give him our old space. It's so much better than what he has now.
Oh, I literally was like, I'll pay for an extra year. I will pay the rent for you, dude. Like I'll do anything.
Yeah.
So I'm glad I don't have to have sex or murder this man, because when I was in Anguilla, we got a text from our realtor that he is willing to negotiate. And so he's going to move out so I can have all 6,000 square feet. How are we up to date on that, by the way? Has he given us a number yet?
No.
But he did say yes.
That's what it sounded like. I mean, the realtor texted you and Lance, not me.
I sent you a screenshot.
I know, but I'm saying like, I'm the one who reached out to the realtor and then he texted you and Lance. So I was like, okay, fuck me. Like, that's fine.
Anyway, he thinks you're coming for his job. Finding spaces and places.
No, not Cole, or not the...
No, the old man?
Yeah.
What's his name again?
The broker. He texted you guys directly, not me. And I'm the one who texted him, so... Anyway.
So yeah, that happened, and then... Wait, did I say...
No.
Okay, and then I'm walking on the beach. Well, actually, I'm shelling. And I have... if you follow me, you'll know. I had these rhinestone goggles. And I was wearing them for like maybe 15 minutes because they were giving me a headache. And these two guys walked past me and they're like, your goggles are so slay. And I'm like, thanks. And then we start talking. And I'm like, what's up? And he like tells me that he works like in Meta. And I'm like, no fucking way. He's like, yeah, I work with like trademarks. I said, you're joking. And he's like, no. And I was like, I need this username. I've been trying to get it for 2 years. He's like, I can get it for you in 3 days. Like, no problem. And then we became besties. And then we hung out with them like the whole trip. And they were just so sweet and amazing. But like, what are the fucking odds? And then we were like talking. And I was like, would you have stopped me if I wasn't wearing those goggles? They're like, no, we would have just walked by. Like, we stopped you because of those rhinestone goggles. Like, we're so cool. And so I'm going to frame those rhinestone goggles in my office because they are iconic. And they answered my prayers. And this happened within 24 hours of each other. I meet somebody that can help me get the username that I thought was impossible. And then I get a text that I'm getting, hopefully, all of the space that I wanted.
And Savanna called me
crying.
Yeah, bawling.
Oh my
her
God, I
little
was
eyes
in
out.
tears. I was like, I'm going to move here. All these good things are happening to me in Anguilla. And then I looked at my astrocartography. It's like where, like, with your birth chart, like where it hits in the world. And like it hits like right above Anguilla. But like in that natural vicinity is like your place of alignment where like good things happen to you. So I think I just need to move to Anguilla because shit, man, I had the best luck there.
I looked at your chart and you know where it also passed through?
Oh.
New York City.
Well, I won't be doing that.
I'm just saying.
I don't like New York. But yeah, okay. I think that's all I have to say for this episode. So
Love you guys.
love you guys. Go to Anguilla if you want good things to happen to you.
Well, check your birth chart first.
Mm-hmm.
And then find a Caribbean island that it crosses with. That'll be your place.
Yeah.
Anguilla
Also,
is
Jakarta
Savannah's.
is also a really good place for me, it says.
Oh, you should try it out.
And Madagascar.
Madagascar. We should watch that movie today.
Oh my God, Cyrus would love it.
Okay, let's watch it.
I like to move and move it. I like to move it.
Y'all
Everybody
have
on
a wonderful rest of your
jumping.
week.
Hey, hey,
We
hey,
love you guys.
I want to sing to you. What's that other one? He's like, I like them big.
Oh,
I like them round.
Oh, yeah, I thought it was
I like them chunky.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When the what's
Hippo.
Gloria
Yes.
is getting out of the water.
Uh-huh.
I have that
Were
in
they
my
body
brain.
shaming?
What?
I guess it was body empowerment.
No, it was body empowerment for sure.
Okay. Yeah. And I liked the giraffe too.
I feel like that was Madagascar too, though.
Oh, it was.
Yeah.
I love the lemurs.
Yeah.
They're kind of like devious little lemurs. Wait, are the penguins in Madagascar too?
Mhm.
Oh my God, we're watching it.
Okay.
I think I lied when I said Finding Nemo was my favorite movie. I think it might be Madagascar.
It's been a really long time since I've seen it, so we'll need to reevaluate.
And I was actually thinking, you know what I think like my absolute favorite movie of all time is?
If you say 13 and going on 30, I'll deck you in the face right now.
No, it's Aquamarine, and I also I
Is
thought
that the
about
mermaid movie?
yeah, bitch, it is. And then also, what was it? Also like A Star Is Born, and then 27 Dresses. She goes to like all these different weddings.
Never saw A Star Is
You know what I'm talking
Born.
about, Paul? And then what was the other one where I was like, oh my God, I just love this. Oh, Blades of Glory. I love Blades of
Oh,
Glory.
yeah. She showed me that movie and it
I
made
could
me
watch
wanna
that like
blow my
80
brain.
times, not get sick of it. And then I also really like How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days.
I don't think I've seen that one.
She's so beautiful.
But we can both agree that you told me that 13 going on 30 is your favorite movie.
I don't think I said favorite. I
You
think I said
did.
it's such a good movie. It's one of my favorites. One of.
Okay.
Not my favorite movie.
Or maybe you said it was my absolute favorite when I was growing up.
Wasn't. It was
Oh.
How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days.
Okay.
Yeah.
Funny how you showed me 13 going on 30 instead of How to Lose a Guy
You
in
haven't
10
seen
Days.
that?
No.
We're watching Madagascar, How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days. I already showed you Blades of Glory, which
Yeah.
you disrespectfully didn't like.
I'm so glad we got that one out of the way.
It's such a good movie.
Hopefully How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days
It's
is better
so
than Blades
good.
of Glory.
You'll love it. All right. Love you guys. Bye.
Bye-bye.